last name, and title and occupation.
My name is Barrett Curnutte. I'm an emergency physician here at Scott & White, and I'm one of the directors of the emergency department.
All right, and so first question, what are some outdoor summer activities that we should be cautious about right now with this heat wave that we're experiencing?
Right. Really, any activity that you do outside at this level of heat puts you at risk for a heat injury. Some of the more significant risks are going to be exercising, being out in the garden, times where you're exposed for long periods of time, or activities where you're really exerting yourself. We also have 4th of July coming up as well, which is going to be a lot of people outdoors, having fun, trying to entertain themselves. And so people don't tend to monitor themselves as well during those activities, and that puts them at risk.
No, for sure. And then what are some tips to those that are going to be outside anyway?
Really, the main thing is preparation. So be aware that you're going to be outside for long periods of time. Think about, how can I cool myself down? How can I cool those that are around me down if I'm going to be hosting people, especially if you have small children or older people that you take care of. Think about hydrating yourself. Be aware that alcohol does not work as a good hydration fluid and actually can make things worse for you. And just think about, how can I cool people down, either shade or air conditioning units, and just really be prepared.
Yeah, for sure. And then kind of on that same note, you mentioned kids and elderly people, and are they the most vulnerable kind of group there?
Anybody at this level, again, is vulnerable, but again, kids, because they can't control their environment, they often have a hard time monitoring themselves. That puts them at risk. Older people, because of some of the changes that occur in their body as we age, puts them at risk, as well as they're often on medications that can put them at risk.
For sure. And then what are the key signs that everyone should be looking out for that you're experiencing a heat-related illness?
Right, and heat-related injury really is a spectrum of illness, with heat exhaustion and heat stroke being the most severe. Both of those are going to show up with weakness, headache, nausea, those kind of symptoms that you're experiencing, as well as a high temperature, usually up to and sometimes over 104 degrees. What really separates those, and what the most dangerous of which heat stroke, you start to see changes in your mental status, and we absolutely need you to come to the emergency department if you experience that.
Yeah, and then anything else you want?
Yeah, maybe what's like a average amount of time it takes for some of those symptoms to potentially set in and people could possibly notice them.
There's such a variety of people. I hate to give you one specific answer. I think the key comes down to monitoring yourself, and how am I feeling outdoors? How long have I been out here? Is this beyond what I normally do, or am I exerting myself more than normal? And also having people around you to help monitor you and go, hey, you're not looking so good, let's come inside.
Yeah, you mentioned the preparation aspect of it. Just, how critical is that, especially if I'm going to the lake on Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's critically important. Making sure you have access to water, being outside without it, being outside without access to shade or to a means to cool down yourself, that could potentially be a life-threatening situation.
And then I know, from the CDC, we have it was 702 deaths from heat-related illnesses. But do you have any information on locally if we experience a lot of deaths from the heat strokes and things
So
like
we are
that?
definitely seeing an uptick in heat-related injuries, especially in the last week or so, as the temperatures have risen and as the humidity's gone up as well. Both make us more vulnerable.